G'day, Keithy here. Thanks for joining me again on this really wet spring day in North Queensland. It's supposed to be dry now, but I tell you what, yesterday it was fully sunny. Today the heavens have opened, so we got plenty of rain getting around, which is pretty good actually. And it's the reason that this video is going to be amazing if you've got a couple of minutes to sit down and have a bit of a listen about what we're going to do. So I'll give you a quick overview now of what we're going to talk about. I've got my book here, I've got my camera here, I've got a coffee, because we're going to talk about video editing for beginners. So if you're just starting out doing things like this, YouTube videoing, and you want to try and level up to the next stage, then this is going to help you guys out no end. So grab yourself a coffee, just like me, sit down and enjoy the video. Well, we couldn't go without checking this out.
Preparing fires now. G'day, Keithy here. G'day, Keithy here. G'day.
Oh, you know what? I wish I had something that could keep my beer nice and cool. Whoa, check that bad boy out. It's a Chilling with Keithy stubby cooler. Well, I'll be buggered. But you know what? This is more than just a stubby cooler. Because if you don't like beer, you can put your water or your coffee or something else in there. How's that? Oh, wowee, I'm impressed. And if you're impressed as well and you want one of the Chilling with Keithy stubby coolers, for 20 Australian dollars, that includes postage, I'll send you one of these bad boys to your door. I'll give you the details down below, $20, including the cost of getting it down to you, or up, if you're up north of me. Chilling with Keithy stubby cooler coming your way. There's the link right there. Woohoo! Thanks for coming along, guys. I appreciate every one of you coming along, having a bit of a look at the videos that I knock up. Now this one I think is really important because I get a lot of questions about video editing and what I use, the products that I use, how I use them and whatnot. It might not seem like that, but Chilling with Keithy actually gets quite a lot of messages. And I know that I've only got about 5,000 odd subscribers, but that doesn't show the real story about my YouTube channel and the type of communication that I have with you guys watching these kind of videos. So I do hope that if you are a new YouTuber and you're starting to do videos for yourself, that this helps you out no end. So what I said in the intro before is what I plan to do, what I've got in order to make these videos a thing. Upgrading from being a beginner, doing my YouTube videos many years ago, to now, where I would call myself an intermediate YouTuber. I'm no pro, but I've definitely leveled up from the beginner YouTube that I used to be. And there's a lot of things that I've done, and I'd like to call it natural changes, if you will, natural upgrades to what I do, how I do my videos over the years. I've learned a few things that have helped me make these videos go from basic to intermediate. I'm going to say intermediate because I can take my stuff anywhere, so it's very simple. It's not what the professionals would use. It's more something that you can use from home or in a nice easy place, and you don't need to have an entire crew of people around recording you while you do your videos. And that's exactly how I live. So the first thing I want to explain to you is that I do all of my videos on my own. I have nobody doing the editing. I have nobody doing the video recording. I have nobody on the camera, nobody around here with sound checks or mics or lights. No scripts written by anyone else. So every video that's on my channel that you see, if you want to go have a look, I've got heaps of stuff. That's all written by me. That's all filmed by me. 100% Keithy. I've got things that help me to get through videos. So for example, if I was recording a video and I forgot what I was going to talk about, because hey, you're only human, right? I always keep this nearby. If it's not right in front of me for such a video like this, I'll have it off camera. That's one of the things too. We're going to talk about things that make your video look a little bit more professional, which is why we're calling it a level up video. So we're going to go from basic to intermediate, and I'm going to go through the list of things I would think, and I'm not going to give you a number as such of things. I'm just going to start talking about what would improve from basic to intermediate on a YouTube video. All right, so one of the first things that I'm going to talk to you about is time. Time is very important. Time is important to you watching this video. as much as it is to me doing the recording, doing the editing, and all of that other kind of stuff that you don't see from the camera. So when you are doing your videos, make sure you keep a mind on the time. Don't ramble on and keep a video that could be maybe a 10-minute video, turn it into a half-hour video. People will turn off. They don't want to watch a half-hour video if they could have watched it in 10 minutes and got the information. Another thing that I find very important, and that most YouTubers you'll find, is keeping a log of what they want to talk about. So this video, I've got a list right here. It doesn't have to be the most complex list you've ever seen to do a YouTube video. It just has to have the information that you want to portray over your channel so that you get it from you over to the other people. And like I said before, sometimes you forget things. You don't always remember everything. So it's handy to have something where you can just have a bit of a pause, go, oh yeah, I wanted to talk about this, drop it down, get back into it. The next thing you're going to need to practice is editing. You're going to have some kind of software somewhere to edit your videos. So if you can't edit your videos, if you're just going from hit record, talk about what you want to talk about, and then hit stop, and then put it up, you want to hope that you've got all of the information that you want accurately, and there's no ums and ahs through your video. So a video can go from very basic to intermediate with some good editing. Most people, including me, I'm guilty of this as well, the word or ah, you'll hear it a lot of times. People record videos, and if they don't completely remember what they were going to say, or if they get lost halfway through, they get distracted. I've got a dog that runs around, there's the occasional mozzie or a bird might fly past that can distract you. You can forget what you were going to talk about, and often you might drop the old So editing a video is very, very important. There are many, many, many apps you can use, like, oh, I don't remember the name of all of them. There's the Adobe ones, CapCut. Have a look on the app store or whatever, Tube or whatever it is that you use to get your apps onto your devices. You'll be able to find out how much they cost. For example, the one that I use is an Adobe product. It costs money. I have a subscription, a monthly subscription. I've been using it for years, so it makes sense to me to do that. Why? Because there are no ads when you do the editing, which is the best thing, because when you are doing your editing, you don't want to have those distractions to take you away from what you are doing. But also, they're very smooth, usually. Now, if you've probably seen my videos, you know that Adobe did have a problem recently, but they've finally got through that and made life for editors like me to get through that kind of stuff as well. Another thing is to think about the device that you're using to do your video recording. So there are a lot of YouTubers out there who will have these fancy cameras, big old, I don't know the name of those kind of fancy cameras because I'm not a cameraman, am I? I use basic stuff. So this here is an iPhone. That's an iPhone 13, no, 11 or 12, one of them. It's an old iPhone. This iPhone here is probably 4, maybe 5 years old. And the one that I'm recording from right now is about a year old. It's an iPhone 15. That's all I record from. I don't have any special cameras. I don't have any other lenses on there or anything like that. I'm using just an iPhone. You might want to use a camera, but what you need to do is you need to decide what you want to use. Now I'm saying for the intermediate level, you don't need to go off and go get yourself a film editing version type camera, because with this iPhone camera that I've got here, you notice the difference, yes, because the expensive cameras that you can get from the camera shops and video shops and whatever, they've got better lenses on them, so they're going to see out in the backyard. You can probably calm that down a little bit so that the focus is more on me than the backyard. But for what I do, an iPhone is perfectly fine to do all of the video that I need to do. It's got great sound, it's got great footage, so I can do 4K right up to 120 on this phone, I believe. Actually, I can do even more than that, I think. But that doesn't matter. All I need to do is get a clean sound video on the phone, and that's exactly what I've done for the entire time that I've been doing YouTube videos. I've been using an iPhone to record everything that I do. Now, another thing that I want to talk about is clothing. So when you're doing a video, how professional do you want to look? If you've designed your video to make yourself look like an idiot or a clown or whatever, then that's okay. But me standing right here in my pajamas right now, that's also another thing. I'm not showing the best version of me. So I could be showing you right now in clean, they don't have to be $1 million shirts and whatnot, just nice shirts. You don't even need to have shorts. You can just wear whatever you want. If all you're showing people is this part of you, then all you need to do is make this part of you look presentable. So something nice will make the job a lot better, look a lot better to the people who are watching your videos. That also goes for things like your hair, your face. Should I have a shave? All of the environment around. Have you got clothes hanging off a clothesline in the background? That's not very professional looking stuff. And if you want to do a quick video, which most people do around a 10-minute video, then make sure that what they're looking at is presentable. So in this case, let's go back to where you can actually hear me properly, and I'll talk more about how I would present myself to you. So you'll see clothing, lighting, sound. They're all very important when you're doing a YouTube video, because you need everything to be nice and clear while you're presenting whatever it is you're presenting to your customers, I guess you'd say. As you would have seen in my little part of the video there, voice is also very important. So I didn't have a microphone on. Is that a big thing? Yes, it is. So right now it is raining. I've got water dripping down everywhere out here. I've got a fan running behind, which you probably don't even know, to try and just keep a bit of a breeze going on, because it's actually a little bit warm here. North Queensland stays warm for quite a lot of time. So having a microphone means that I can run a fan. I can do a YouTube video when it's raining like this. I can hear the rain. I can hear it over my own voice. So it might sound like I'm talking louder than usual because I'm trying to compensate for that being out there. But that's where a microphone will come in handy. It's nice and small, so it doesn't stand out like dog's balls. I can run the wire down the shirt and put the rest of the setup in my pocket. And on my camera, which is an iPhone, I can attach it right through the usual charge port on the iPhone, whether it's the new one with the USB-C or whatever that's called, or whether it's one of the older iPhones with the iPhone connection there. You can connect up these speakers to an iPhone without any issue. So while I was operating that phone there as the camera that I used to do my video, I was using the older iPhone connections. Worked no worries. And what it does is it means that all of the sound that comes from the phone goes directly into the camera while you're speaking. So it's like you've got a microphone in your hand and you're talking to that. It also means you can turn your head a little bit and you can still hear what I'm saying, whereas if you cover the microphone off, you can't really hear too much about what I'm saying. So it makes all the difference in a video, especially if you want to get your word across. Now there are some YouTubers out there, especially the ones that have got 3-4 million subscribers, who don't even use the microphones, but that's because they've got a number of cameras with a number of even iPhones and Samsung phones and whatever other phones that they use, because they're always running around with their video, so it's difficult for them to get a microphone on. But the microphone that I use, and I'll show you in a second the microphones that I use, you can actually run around with them on the back of an iPhone. The thing that really limits them though is that you can't charge the iPhone while you have got the microphones attached to the charge port. So that's the only letdown that I've found. But if you've got a good phone that's charged to begin with, it's not a problem. Now I'm going to show you what else I use when I do my videos, recording and editing kind of things. Might give you a couple more ideas of what you can do for yourself as well. So what can also help you when you're doing a video and you want to just level up a little bit from where you are. Don't expect to be at the top level straight away, best YouTuber in the world, because that takes a lot of time. If you've been studying the filming industry and doing things at university and whatnot, you're going to be way ahead of this. But if you're just a basic fella like me with a couple of phones and a little bit of microphone action, then this is going to help you out. So this is where I do a lot of my editing stuff. Some videos I record from here as well, because it's an environment where I feel like it's my little work area, so to speak. So it makes things easy for me to get around and do my thing in my little area. I also go out the back quite a lot, as that's a very, it's a lovely, breezy, cool, familiar area for me as well. Depends on what I'm trying to convey. So if I've got something that I need to talk about on the computer where I'm going to show you, then I'll do the video in here. But the environment is also a very, very good thing. So I'll start at the top too. You can see up here, I've got a light. Now it's not turned on at the moment because it'd probably blind you. You wouldn't see too much. But I can turn that on pretty easily from the switch. I can adjust how bright it is quite easily. So depending on what I need, I can change it to colors, do all kinds of cool things with that. That was a very, very easy little purchase. It wasn't expensive. I think I might have paid $50, $60 for this, which I think is really good because it shows everything that you need. It's easy to use. It's very simple to operate. I can take it with me to most places that I go. I can even use it from the back of my four-wheel drive, which is a lot of the things that I do is camping or doing four-wheel drive kind of stuff. So having a little bit extra light when I'm doing something like this is very, very handy. And doing virtually all of my videos, to have that brightness, accuracy, and so that you guys can see me, that's a very handy thing to have, especially on a day-to-day where it's very overcast. So that's handy to have. I'm not going to turn that on while I'm talking to you now. Another thing is the area that I do the work for my video editing. So as you can see here, I've got my laptop, which is very, very handy for me. Again, I can take it camping. I can go out of town with this. I can do things at the back. I can do the video editing anywhere I want because I can charge this thing from anything that I've got, whether it's at home or out camping. So that's very handy. But also having an additional monitor, fantastic. So when you're doing video editing, having another screen there is just unreal because you can put your video on over there, do your editing here, and when you press play to see how it's going or whatever, you've made a change and you want to see what it's done, you don't have to get off the screen that you're on to be able to do the changes and see what's happened. So you don't have to close, open, or for example, if you're not doing that kind of thing, you could put a couple of folders up here, maybe photos or videos or whatever it is that you're doing, and bring them over to a complete file here that you're adding things to, and you can watch from there as you're bringing them over. So it makes the job a lot easier. Over the years that I've been doing these YouTube videos, that has been one of the easiest changes that I've made to the way that I do the video editing, and it's actually sped things up quite a lot. Another thing you'll notice is this is what I call my script book. So for every video that I do, I will write down essentially a script about what I'm going to do. I don't have to sit here and have this held open to remember what I want to talk about, but if I pull up right now, say for example, if I lost my train of thought and needed to boost myself again, then I could do some tricky stuff, which I'll talk about in a minute, go check out what I've written for this video in particular, remind myself, okay, this is what I want to talk about, put it back there, get on with what we're talking about. So that's another good little trick too. Also, along the same lines as that is zoom. So if I zoom now, that I just put my coffee down there, and that I just picked it up again without you guys even seeing me bend over, reach up and pick it up. So the power of editing is amazing. If you just give yourself some time, if you make a mistake, stop, start again. You've all got plenty of time, and you can also delete things that you don't want from your video during the editing process. Now what you can see over here as well, I've left these out here purposely, so I've got drawers. I carry all of my gear around in all different kinds of bags. So this bag here is actually for the drone, but I also keep all of the things such as sound in there as well, because more often than not, if I'm going somewhere with the drone, I'll do a little bit of a video as well, and it's good to have a microphone and also to have the receiver attached to my camera so that I can talk through here. It's nice and clear, and you wouldn't know right now that it's actually belting down outside with rain, so you can't hear that, but I can, which is where microphones come in very handy. I've also got the tripod there, which you are on looking at me right now. If I'm going somewhere and I'm using the extra light, I'll use the tripod that's actually attached to that light to do the video. Right now, I'm using all of the lights that I can in the house to try and just keep things nice and bright. Work environment is a very, very important thing when you're recording videos and editing videos, because you want to make sure that you get the right message across. You want to do the right edits to your video, and you don't want to be distracted by whatever's happening in the environment that you're in. Having yourself a nice little desk just like this, gives you your little space. You may have a computer room or something for that example at your place. Gives you a little bit of a space, nice quiet space where you can do what you need to do to make those videos come together a little bit quicker. All right, now we're going to try and quick fire the last couple of things, get you guys back to doing what you want to do. Let's get to the list, the end of the list now. So one of them is the camera that you are recording with. So if you're using, it doesn't matter what camera, iPhone, all those other types of phones, keep them clean. Even if you use your shirt, you can clean a dirty lens with a shirt. Give it a little, chuck your shirt on there, get rid of all the dust and dirt and whatever may be on your lens, and that'll make the video a lot easier for people to see nice and clearly. There won't be glare, there won't be things in the way, there won't be that tiny little dot that annoys you when you're watching a video as well. Another important thing is the environment that you're in. So if you're going to work on a car and you're going to do a video on changing the oil in a car, for example, then you want to be in an environment where people can see a car or an oil bottle with the oil that you're going to use. The environment is very important. For this video here, I'm sitting out here in my back patio, funny enough. Why? Because this is a great environment for me to do the videos. I also wanted to talk about the weather and the sound, which is what I have done. So it makes sense for me to do the majority of this video out here. But because I have got that tripod, I'm able to walk around, put it inside the house and film inside and show you the things inside that I wanted to do. And then I can take the iPhone, which is why I love it, off the tripod, walk around and show you other bits and pieces to do with the video editing to try and just get you guys up a little bit. That is what I like about the way that this filming setup is. And it's very easy, it's very basic, it doesn't take up much room. Also, the positioning of your body is very important when you're filming for a video. Doesn't matter what kind of video, how professional it is, you're not going to get much out of me if I'm above the camera and you can't see me. Likewise, if I'm off the side and I think I'm in the camera, you can't really see me, and I don't know that until I go and check out exactly where I'm talking to you from. So put your camera in a position where it can see not only you, but the environment that you want to see as well. You don't have to be in the middle. Say for example, I was doing a video on the fence over there. I could turn my camera around to look more at the fence, but as long as you're in the video, if that's what you desire, then you need to make sure that you can sit or stand or be in a position where the camera can see you and the thing that you're trying to talk about, whether it's a car, a fence, a dog, the rain, anything. You need to make sure that it's in position and clean. Right, we're getting to the pointy end now. These last couple of things are not so much to do with the filming as it is to do with the product that you're producing. One of the best things about YouTube videos is confidence. If you've got confidence, people will watch what you've got to say. If you sit there all day saying and in your videos, not only does it give you a bit of a hard job trying to do the video editing to get rid of every one of those and ahs, but it doesn't look very professional. It doesn't look like you know what you're talking about. And people will walk away if you're and ahhing the whole trip through the video. How do you get rid of the and ahs? This is where your script comes in handy. But not only that, you've got to know what you're talking about. If you don't know what you're talking about, if you're not confident in what you're talking about, then you're going to come across that way. Don't be afraid to do takes. I do takes with these videos here. What I will do, straight after this no doubt, is I will just go through and make sure that I've recorded everything that I wanted to say, but also that it was straight, honest, I haven't missed anything, and I haven't said and ah about 400 times in the video, because that annoys the living boop out of people. And I don't want to do that in this video, and I'm sure you don't want to listen to someone going and ah. Another thing is knowledge. You need to know what you're talking about. When I do videos on the Range Rover, I'm not going to do a video and ah all the way through, but also talk beep because I don't know what I'm talking about. You need to know what you're talking about, because if you put a video up and you say these things that you don't understand completely, but just make your way through it, someone's bound to watch your video and pull you up on it. And not only are they going to pull you up on whatever mistake you've made or lie that you've told, they're going to tell everybody who watches your videos that you're a liar. Not only is that going to affect your image, the amount of people, if you're looking for 1 million subscribers, they're not going to come back to your YouTube channel if you're telling fibs. They're not going to watch what you've got to say. They're not going to believe anything you say. So the next video you do, they're going to go, oh, it's that liar again. Waste of time. Make sure you're factual in the things that you do say in your videos. Make sure you write them down. And if you can't find the information that you want to talk about, jump on the internet, find the information, remember it, learn it, put it down, and send it over to the people who are watching your videos factually, accurately, and promptly. Second last thing I want to talk to you guys about is editing the video. So like I said before, after this, I'm going to go and stop the recording. I'm going to watch the recording and make sure that I got all of the information out that I wanted to do, that it was factual, that it was prompt enough, and I wasn't sitting here all day long trying to waste your time. And also that I can just go straight in. It makes life so much easier to edit when you've got all of the information in one go and you don't have to cut bits and pieces from here and there into a video. You save yourself some time in the edit and you don't have to try and remember, oh, where did I put that file or that photo or whatever it may be. If you get it right the first time, that's great. Sometimes you have to do clips. I might do maybe 5 or 6 different clips for this video here, and sometimes I might have to do a couple of edits to go through and get exactly what I want over to you. Also with video editing, if you've made a mistake and you can cut, but you may have moved position or something else in your video has moved position, then there are some skills that you can use with the camera that people won't even notice that. For example, you can see that coffee cup's there right now, but if you were to zoom in and just talk to me here and now, and then zoom back out, yes, you'll notice that the coffee cup has moved because I told you I was going to move it, but unless you are specifically looking at that coffee cup, you probably wouldn't know, which is why the magic of video editing is fantastic. Another talk about microphone. I don't know if you could hear that plane going over the top of me right now, but that has probably just sent that plane right down to almost 0 decibels. Didn't affect the video as much as it would have if I didn't have that on. All right, last thing now ever after this comment. No. Now the last thing that I'm going to talk about really quick is review. So once you've done everything, once you've done all of your editing on your video, whether you have a program or whether you're doing it on an iPhone, you can do it on an iPhone. I did for years and years and years until I had an app. Go through your video after the fact and make sure that it is presented how you want to present it. If there's a bit of lighting issues, you can edit that. If there's some noises or volume issues, you can correct that in an app. But once you've done all of the editing and you hit that upload button, you can't change anything. So make sure before you upload this video to YouTube or TikTok or Ding Dong or wherever you're uploading your video to, make sure that you've got it correct. Make sure that the volumes are good, the lighting is good, everything flows nicely, and people won't call you out for mistakes in your video then. Thank you for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing to those who have subscribed. I really hope that I've helped someone out with a YouTube video. Obviously this for me is a very important video as well, given the medical stuff that I've been going through now with the brain tumour that I'm going through. You wouldn't believe it, but only maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago I went through brain tumour surgery to remove the second time around. So you wouldn't know it, but just shows things like confidence, accuracy, writing down notes can get you anywhere. You don't have to be a TV presenter that does the nightly news to be able to get a video out factually, confidently, and get all of the information that you want out to your viewers. So thanks again. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. I appreciate you watching these videos, and I'll see you next time. Take care.